My beloved child, how many nights have you cried believing you were alone? But I tell you, I have never taken my eyes off you. Even when you couldn't feel me, I was closer than the air you breathed. My presence surrounded you in the silence, and my heart beat in rhythm with yours. You were never out of my sight, not for a single moment. Do you remember those times when you were about to give up, and suddenly a small strength rose within you? That was me. I was the whisper that told you to keep going, the invisible arms that lifted you from despair. I stood by you in the darkness, guarding you, speaking softly to your soul, even when your heart was too tired to listen. You questioned my silence, but silence doesn't mean absence. It means I'm doing a deeper work, one beyond what eyes can see. I was building your strength, nurturing your faith, and stretching your spirit. I allowed the silence not to hurt you, but to grow you. And even in that I was with you, quiet but fully present. I know your wounds. I see the hidden places where you hurt the most. And even when you tried to hide your pain from others, I saw everything. Nothing in you is invisible to me. Your tears are collected in my hands. Your fears are written on my heart. You are not forgotten. You are mine. Every time you thought, I can't take this anymore, I gave you just enough strength to breathe. I didn't always remove the storm, but I became your shelter in it. I walked with you through the fire and didn't let it consume you. You made it through what was meant to break you, and that's because I never left you. You might not have seen my face, but you've seen my fingerprints. On every rescue, every open door, every time you were loved unexpectedly. I've been leaving signs for you all along the way. Even now, as you read this, I'm touching your heart to remind you, I am still here. So rest, child, you are not abandoned. Not by me, never by me. Even if the world walks away, I stay. I remain faithful. I remain near. I remain yours. Every tear you've shed has reached me. Not one has fallen without my notice. Your pain is not ignored. Your cries are not in vain. I hear you even when you can't form the words. Your soul speaks to me in ways deeper than sound, and I understand all of it. I hold your heart in my hands, gently, tenderly. There were moments when you wept quietly, hoping someone would see. I did. I saw. I listened. I bent down from heaven to collect your tears, to whisper comfort into your soul. You are never too broken for me. Your pain is precious to me, not because I want you to suffer, but because it shows how deeply you feel, how much you love, how human you are. I created you with sensitivity, not weakness. Your emotions are not flaws, they are sacred echoes of my image within you. I wept too, remember? I wept with the broken-hearted. I weep with you even now. When you ache, I feel it. When your heart breaks, so does mine. You are not alone in your sorrow. You have often asked, why do I feel so much? It is because I designed your heart to reflect mine. You carry compassion, empathy, longing, and hope. I made you that way. The weight of it may be heavy, but I promise I'm holding it with you. Let me carry the part you can't. Let me hold you as you cry. Your tears are not signs of failure. They are prayers, liquid prayers that rise to my throne without words. And I respond, not always the way you expect, but always in love. Sometimes with comfort, sometimes with strength, sometimes with the miracle of peace that makes no earthly sense. I see how hard you try to be strong, but beloved, strength is not in pretending you're okay. It's in trusting me when you're not. It's in allowing yourself to be held. I want you to fall into my arms when the world becomes too much. I want to be your refuge, your place of rest, your eternal comfort. So weep if you must, but never believe your tears are wasted. They are seen, they are sacred, and one day, I will wipe every single one from your eyes myself. There are times when my voice feels distant to you, times when you pray and hear nothing, see nothing, feel nothing. I know how unsettling that can be, but let me gently tell you something that may change the way you see it. My silence is not my absence. My quiet is not my distance. I am still with you. Sometimes silence is the canvas upon which I am painting your transformation. In the quiet, I am drawing your heart nearer to mine. I am teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight. I know you long for a sign, but I long for your trust. I long for you to know me deeper than noise and louder than emotion. I'm not hiding from you, I'm drawing you in. I know how painful it feels when heaven seems quiet, but I am whispering even now through the stillness, into the spaces that only silence can reach. Don't run from it. Sit with me in it. Let the quiet be our meeting place. You are not forgotten in this quiet season. In fact, you are being cradled. Sometimes I speak not through words, but through peace that passes understanding. Sometimes I work in you when it seems like nothing is happening. The soil looks still, but beneath it seeds are breaking open and new life is forming. I know your heart aches to hear me clearly again. That ache is a holy longing, and it matters to me. But I ask you, will you trust me in the dark? Will you believe I'm with you even when I seem silent? That kind of trust will become your deepest strength. That kind of faith moves mountains. If you keep showing up, even in the quiet, you'll begin to hear me again. My love has never stopped speaking, but sometimes it speaks in ways beyond sound. Through a sunrise, a hug, a word from a friend, a sudden peace in the middle of chaos, there I am. So do not fear the silence. I am not far. I am right here, still holding you, still loving you, still working in ways you cannot yet see. And when the time is right, you will hear my voice again, and it will sound like hope. I know how tired you are. I see how much you're carrying, how heavy your days feel. You've been fighting battles no one knows about, haven't you? Holding on when everything inside says to let go. My child, come rest in me. Let me be your strength. Let me be the one who carries you. You were never meant to carry all of this alone. I created you with limits, not to shame you, but to draw you into my arms when you reach them. Your exhaustion is not failure. It is a signal that you need me, and I am right here, ready to hold you close. When your legs shake from walking through the storm, I will lift you. When your heart is weary from loving and not receiving, I will comfort you. When your mind races with fears and doubts, I will speak peace over you. You don't have to earn my help. Just come. Come as you are, tired, broken, doubting, and I will carry you. Rest is holy. Rest is not weakness. I designed the Sabbath for you, to teach your soul how to breathe again. You are not lazy for needing a break. You are human, and I love you as you are, not just for what you do. Come rest in my love. There is no shame in leaning on me. In fact, that is what I desire. I am the father who carries his children. I never tire. I never sleep. I am able to sustain you through every valley, every heartbreak, every burden. Let me be enough for you. You will walk again with strength, but first, you must allow yourself to be carried. Let my presence hold you in this moment. Let my voice silence your fear. Let my arms be the place where your soul finds rest again. This is not the end. This is a pause in my embrace. I promise you this. You will rise again, but not by your own might, by my spirit. You will stand strong, walk further, and love deeper than ever before. But first, rest. Let me carry you, child. I never grow weary of holding you. I know you don't always understand why things had to happen the way they did. I know you've cried out asking, why this pain, Lord? And though I don't always answer that question right away, I promise you, your pain is not meaningless. I am using it for something greater than you can imagine. There are things that only pain can teach the heart, depths of compassion, strength, and faith that can only be forged through fire. I did not cause your suffering, but I will redeem it. I will use every tear, every trial, every wound to bring about something beautiful in you. You may not see it now, but growth is happening in your struggle. Your roots are going deeper, your soul is being refined, your heart is being shaped into something radiant. There is a purpose in your pain, child, and it is not punishment. It is preparation. I know it hurts, and I'm not distant from your sorrow. I'm right in the middle of it with you. I cry with you. I hold you. I whisper strength into your soul when you feel you have nothing left. I do not waste what you've been through. I transform it. The enemy wanted your pain to destroy you, but I'm using it to build you. What was meant for harm, I am turning for your good. I am weaving every broken piece into a tapestry of grace and power. You are becoming stronger than you've ever been, not in spite of your pain, but through it. One day, you will look back and see the fingerprints of my glory all over this season. You will be able to say, it was hard, but he was faithful. And you will help others heal because you know what it's like to hurt. Your pain will become someone else's hope. So hold on, beloved. Trust the process I am walking you through. This pain will not last forever, but what it produces in you will: strength, compassion, purpose, and unshakable faith. I am not done with your story. I'm still writing it with my own hand. My precious child, I see the thoughts that race through your mind late at night. I know the fears that try to creep in when you think about the future, but I need you to hear me now. Do not be afraid of tomorrow. I already live there. I go ahead of you. I prepare the way before you even take the first step. Every sunrise you wake to is not just another day. It's a gift from me, filled with new mercy and new hope. I'm already working in places you haven't even walked into yet. While you're worrying, I'm already providing. While you're fearing, I'm already defending. You are not walking into the unknown alone. You don't need to have it all figured out. That's not your job, it's mine. I hold your times in my hands. I orchestrate every detail, even the ones that seem random or painful. I use all things, yes, even your mistakes, to bring you into the fullness of my plan. Your future is not fragile in my hands. Anxieties about what's to come can be overwhelming, but I want you to remember who I am. I am the same God who parted seas, shut the mouths of lions and raised the dead. Your future is safe with me. Nothing surprises me. Nothing can overpower me. And you, yes, you, are under my protection. Breathe deeply. Let my peace flood you. I am not asking you to know what will happen. I'm asking you to trust the one who does. I am not just watching your future unfold. I'm writing it, redeeming it, and leading you into it. I am the God of your tomorrow. So when fear tries to grip you, remind yourself that I am already in your next step, your next breath, your next victory. You don't walk into the future alone. You walk with the King of Kings beside you. I am not only your God, I am your guide. Be still, beloved. Tomorrow is not something to fear. It is something I've already prepared. All I ask is that you trust me today, and I will meet you in the morning with more grace, more strength, and more love. There are things inside you that no one else understands. Wounds, fears, longings, and thoughts that you've never spoken aloud. But I see them all. I know what no one else sees. I know the private battles you fight and the silent prayers you whisper into your pillow at night. You don't have to explain yourself to me, I already understand. I see beneath the surface, beneath the smile, beneath the masks you wear to survive. I see your heart, and it is beautiful to me even in its brokenness. You are fully known and fully loved. Sometimes you feel invisible in this world, overlooked and forgotten, but never by me. I am the one who formed you in secret, who counted your tears before they even fell. You are never hidden from me. You are my beloved, and I am always near. Others may misunderstand you, judge you, or walk away, but I never will. I see your motives. I see your pain. I see your intentions, even when they don't come out right. I know when you're trying, even if it doesn't seem like enough to others. I know your heart, child. You may feel like you have to be strong all the time, but not with me. You can be your truest self in my presence. Let your guard down. Come to me with everything, the messy, the broken, the raw. I can handle it. I want to hold it. I want to hold you. Let me remind you, being seen by me is not something to fear. It is where healing begins. I do not look at you with condemnation. I look at you with compassion. I do not recoil from your pain. I move closer. My gaze brings healing, not shame. So lift your head. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are seen, known, and deeply loved by the one who sees everything and still calls you mine. I know there are days when joy feels like a distant memory, when you wonder if you'll ever laugh from your soul again. But I promise you this, a time is coming when you will smile, not just because things are better, but because you see how I carried you through. That smile will be gratitude wrapped in glory. Your laughter is not lost forever. It may be quiet now, hidden beneath layers of grief or stress, but I'm not finished with your story. I'm restoring joy to your heart, slowly, gently, intentionally. Joy that doesn't ignore pain, but rises stronger in spite of it. I see the cracks in your heart, the heaviness in your chest, but even now in the places where you feel broken, I'm planting seeds of joy, seeds that will bloom in their time. There is healing coming that will make room for laughter again. You will laugh and not be afraid. You will smile and truly mean it. The pain you've walked through will one day become the reason you rejoice. You will look back and say, I didn't think I'd make it, but he brought me through. Gratitude will pour from your soul, not just for the outcome, but for my presence during the process. I am the restorer of joy, the healer of heaviness, the lifter of heads. I specialize in bringing beauty from ashes and dancing from mourning, and I will do it for you. Your joy is not gone, it's just being rebuilt from the ground up on stronger foundations. When that day comes, your smile will be more than happiness. It will be testimony. It will be the sound of hope fulfilled, of faith rewarded, of battles won. It will be radiant, it will be real, it will be rooted in me. So don't give up on joy. Don't believe it's lost. It's coming back, child. And when it does, it will be more powerful than ever before. You will smile with a heart full of thanks, and I will be smiling with you. What you are going through right now is not the conclusion. It's just a chapter. Don't close the book. Don't give in to the lie that this is all there is. Your story doesn't end here. I have so much more for you. More than you can imagine. More than you think you deserve. But exactly what I've prepared. I know how it feels to stand in the middle of pain and not see a way forward. But I do. I see the path ahead even when you don't. You may feel stuck, but I am moving things on your behalf. The pages of your life are still turning, and I am the author. This moment, this heartbreak, this setback, this valley is not your whole story. It is a part of your becoming. Every good story has tension and trials before the triumph. You are in the middle, but I am already holding the end. And child, it is a beautiful one. There is purpose in this pause. There is growth in this grief. I am using everything to shape you into who I created you to be. Your pain will not have the final word. I will. And my word speaks life, hope, redemption, and new beginnings. You have not disqualified yourself from my plans. Nothing you've been through, nothing you've done can cancel what I've written for you. You are not forgotten. You are not finished. There are pages yet to be written in glory and grace. Hold on to hope, even if it's just a whisper, hold it. The next chapter might just be the one that makes all the others make sense. I'm still writing, I'm still working, I'm still with you. The pen is in my hand, not yours, and I never run out of ink. So turn the page with me, beloved. Trust me with the unfolding. Your story is sacred, and it's far from over. The best is still ahead. I know how deep the pain runs today. It may feel unbearable, like a wound that won't close. But I want you to hear me with all your heart. What hurts you today will heal tomorrow. Time in my hands is a healing stream, and I'm already washing over your heart with comfort and care. Pain doesn't disappear in a moment, but healing begins the second you place it in my hands. I never ignore your hurt. I cradle it, tend to it, and breathe life into it. I know what it means to hurt. I lived among you. I felt every form of human suffering, and I overcame it. I am the healer of hearts, and I never leave wounds untreated. Though you may not see it yet, healing is already taking place inside of you. A slow, divine mending is happening in your soul, even in your sleepless nights and silent tears. Trust that I am working in ways you can't yet perceive. Some days will still sting, and that's okay. Healing is not linear, it's layered, but every step forward, every moment of peace, every breath you take without breaking is a victory. I celebrate your smallest healing steps because I know how much they cost you. The pain that feels endless now will one day become your testimony. You will tell others, "He healed me," and you'll mean it. What once felt like the end will become the beginning of something new. Your scars will not be ugly. They will be proof that grace touched you. So don't despair. Don't let today's pain convince you there is no tomorrow. There is a tomorrow, and it is full of hope, restoration, and renewal. Your story doesn't end in sorrow. It ends in glory. Stay close to me. Let me walk you through the healing. I won't rush you, and I won't leave you. Shall be here every step of the way until the pain that pierces you now becomes a memory wrapped in healing and peace. There are moments when you feel like you're falling apart, like everything around you is crumbling faster than you can catch it. But I want you to pause and breathe, child. Don't forget who holds you together. It's me. It has always been me. When the pieces of your life seem scattered, I am the one gently gathering them. Even when your strength fails, I remain unshaken. I do not panic. I do not falter. My hands are steady and they are holding you now. You do not need to keep yourself from breaking. I specialize in putting the broken back together. You are safest in my embrace. You are not made to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. I never asked you to. That's why I told you to come to me with your burdens. I knew there would be days like this, days where everything feels too heavy, but I never intended you to carry it alone. I see how hard you try. I see your effort, your tears, your weariness, and I want to remind you I am not just holding your life together, I'm holding you, your heart, your mind, your spirit. They are precious to me, and I am gently restoring every fragile part of you. You may feel like things are falling apart, but often what looks like falling apart is really falling into place. I remove what cannot stay so I can rebuild on a foundation that won't crumble. Trust me with the process. I'm doing something beautiful in the unseen. You are not forgotten, you are not forsaken, and you are not alone. My love surrounds you like the dawn surrounds the night. It's inevitable, steady, and full of promise. When you feel overwhelmed, lean into me. I'll remind you that you're never beyond my reach. I'm the one who formed you from dust, who breathed life into your lungs, and I'm still holding you, still loving you, still carrying you through. Don't forget who I am. Don't forget whose hands are holding you together. I've never let you go, and I never will. You worry so much about how things will work out. I see the way your mind races, trying to plan, fix, prepare. But child, rest your heart. I am taking care of the details. I'm already ahead of you, orchestrating what you can't yet see. The things you think are small, I see as sacred. The concerns you whisper to no one, I carry with great care. I don't miss anything, not even the tiniest need or the quietest prayer. Nothing escapes my attention. If it matters to you, it matters to me. You often look at the big picture, and it overwhelms you. But I'm in the small steps too. The people you meet, the timing of events, the doors that open and close. I am weaving your life like a tapestry, threading purpose through every moment. You're not walking blind. I'm guiding you. Even when you don't realize it, I'm steering you away from harm and toward hope. You only see part of the story right now, but I see it all. The delays, the detours, even the disappointments. I use them all for your good. Stop trying to control what is not yours to carry. I know it's hard to let go, but you must trust that I care more than you do. I'm not passive. I'm involved. I'm active. I'm working behind the scenes, arranging blessings, opening hearts, aligning divine appointments. When it's time, it will all come together in a way you could never have imagined. Not because you forced it, but because you trusted me. Your faith releases my hand to move, and when you see how I've cared for even the tiniest detail, you'll be amazed. So rest, dear one. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to keep walking with me, trusting that I've already prepared the way. Let my peace be your guide. I am in the details, and I don't miss a thing. I know you feel disappointed in yourself sometimes. You stumble, you fall, and you wonder if I'm still with you. But let me reassure you, even in your fall, I will lift you. My love does not depend on your perfection. My grace is greater than your weakness. I never expected you to walk without tripping. I knew your journey would have valleys, mistakes, and moments of doubt. But I'm not here to condemn you. I'm here to restore you. I bend low to pick you up, not to shame you, but to remind you who you are to me. You are my child, not because you are flawless, but because you are mine. My arms are strong enough to hold you no matter how far you feel you've fallen. I don't withdraw when you mess up. I move closer, longing to heal and rebuild. When you fall, don't run from me. Run to me. There is no mistake that can separate you from my love. Come with your guilt, your shame, your regret. I'll take it all and trade it for peace, forgiveness, and fresh grace. I'm not just the God of the mountaintop. I'm the God of the valley. I'm not just with you in victory. I'm with you in failure. When others walk away, I stay. When you can't lift your own head, I gently lift it for you and remind you that you are still deeply loved. There is no fall too deep that my hand can't reach. No sin too great that my mercy can't cover. You are not disqualified. You are not abandoned. You are being lifted, restored, redeemed. And the fall that you thought ended everything is the very place I begin again. So take my hand. Let me lift you. Let me heal you. Let me show you that grace isn't for the perfect. It's for the fallen. And I am here, offering it freely again and again because I love you beyond measure. If you only knew how much I love you, child, you would never question your worth again. My love for you is not fragile. It doesn't change with your mood, your mistakes, or your struggles. It is steady, unshakable, eternal. You are deeply, completely, endlessly loved. From the moment I formed you, my love has been chasing you. Every breath you take is proof of my care. Every sunrise is my reminder that I'm still here, still for you, still loving you with the same intensity I always have. You may not always feel lovable. Life, people, and pain may have made you doubt your value. But my love isn't based on what others see or say. It's based on who you are to me, my child, my creation, my delight. There is nothing you can do to earn my love, and nothing you can do to lose it. It's not a reward, it's a gift. I loved you at your worst. I loved you when you walked away. I loved you when you didn't love yourself, and I still do. Let this truth sink deep. You are worthy of love, not because of what you do, but because of who I am. I am love, and I have chosen you. My love is your anchor, your identity, your safe place. Let it be the truth you return to again and again. When you feel unseen, remember, I see you. When you feel unloved, remember, I love you. And when you feel like giving up, let my love hold you together. You are not alone, you are not forgotten, you are cherished beyond comprehension. Rest in my love, child. Let it heal you, calm you, define you. You don't have to prove anything to me. Just let me love you. That is where your strength will come from knowing that you are and always will be deeply loved. I see every tear, even the ones you hide. They are not wasted. They are not ignored. Every single drop of sorrow is seen by me, collected by me, remembered by me. No tear you shed is in vain, my beloved. Your tears speak louder than words. They tell me where it hurts, what weighs on your heart, what you can no longer carry alone. I treasure them, not because I want you to suffer, but because they show me that your heart is still open, still soft, still reaching for me. Sometimes the world tells you to be strong by holding everything in, but I tell you, strength is found in surrender. It's okay to cry, it's okay to feel. I gave you those emotions not as weakness, but as a language between your soul and mine. I am not ashamed of your tears. I don't pull away when you're overwhelmed. I come closer. I sit with you. I hold you. I remind you that you don't have to go through this alone. I am here for every tear, every ache, every sigh. In time, I will turn your tears into joy. The sorrow you carry now will not last forever. I will bring healing. I will bring purpose. I will bring peace. And one day you will look back and see that every tear was watering a garden you couldn't yet see. So let them fall, if they must. But don't believe the lie that they are meaningless. They are precious to me. I am using them to soften your heart, to open your spirit, to make space for my love to flow in deeper. And remember this, I promise to wipe every tear from your eyes, one day for good. Until then, I am here, catching them all and turning pain into promise. You are not a face in the crowd to me. You are not just another life among billions. I know you intimately. I know your voice, your heartbeat, your fears, and your dreams. I call you by name, not just once, but every single day. Your name is written on my heart. When you feel invisible, I see you. When you wonder if anyone truly understands who you are, I remind you that I do. I made you, formed you, crafted you with intention. Every detail of who you are was placed within you by my own hand. I've never lost sight of you. You may feel forgotten by others, but I have never forgotten you. My memory doesn't fade. My love doesn't dim with time. Before you were born, I knew your name. And when I speak it with tenderness, with purpose, with delight. There are moments when I whisper your name into the wind of your thoughts, hoping you'll remember who you are to me. The world might label you by your past, your pain, or your mistakes. But I call you mine. I call you beloved. I call you redeemed. When you're lost, your name is still known in heaven. When you wander, I still call out for you, not with anger, but with longing. I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 just to bring you home. You are that important to me. You don't have to earn my attention. You already have it. You don't need to shout for me to hear. I respond even to your sighs. I call you by name in the chaos and in the stillness, hoping you'll respond with trust, with openness, with faith. So when life gets loud and your identity feels shaken, remember this. I know who you are. I know whose you are. And I will never stop calling your name with love. Every single day of your life. There's so much uncertainty in your heart right now. You wonder what's next, how it will all work out, if you'll make it through. Let me give you peace. Your life is not spinning out of control. It's in my hands, and my hands are steady, faithful, and strong. You are not left to figure this out on your own. I have gone before you and behind you. I see what you don't. I hold what you can't. The future that seems unknown to you is fully known to me. You're not navigating blind. I'm leading you step by step. You may feel like things are falling apart, but they're really falling into divine alignment. You only see the moment in front of you, but I see the whole picture. I see the end from the beginning. I'm not confused and you're not lost in my eyes. Even when you resist, even when you doubt, even when you wander, I keep holding your life with care. I never loosen my grip on you. I never grow tired of guiding you. My hands do not shake. My love does not weaken. I know what you've been through. I know what you're afraid of. I know what you're waiting for. And in all of it, I am holding your story like the most precious treasure. I'm not done with you. I'm still shaping, still unfolding, still redeeming every chapter. Place your plans, your dreams, your worries in my hands. Watch what I can do when you surrender what was never meant to burden you. You'll find peace again. You'll breathe again. You'll see that my timing and my touch are perfect. So take comfort. You are not drifting in chaos. You are secure in my love. Your life is in my hands, and there is no safer place you could ever be. You may think too much has slipped through your fingers. that you've missed your chance, lost your purpose, wasted your time. But I tell you, nothing is truly lost for me. I am the restorer, the redeemer, the one who brings beauty even from ashes. What seems like a detour to you is still within the borders of my plan. I waste nothing, not your pain, not your past, not even your failures. I take everything and shape it into something redemptive. I'm not bound by your limits. I work beyond time, beyond logic, beyond what you thought was gone. I see how your heart mourns for what could have been, but I want you to know I can create something even greater from where you are now. What was broken can be rebuilt. What was taken can be returned. What was dead can rise again in my hands. You are not running out of time. You are walking into the time I've appointed for you. My delays are not denials. My silence is not rejection. I am weaving timing and grace together in ways you cannot yet see. What you thought was over, I am still breathing life into. There are no mistakes that disqualify you from my purpose. No path too twisted for me to reroute. Even your deepest regrets are not beyond my reach. I hold all the pieces, and I know how to bring them together again for good. I restore what is lost, yes, but I also give more. I am the God of overflow, of second chances, of new beginnings. I have a future that does not depend on what you lost, but on what I'm about to do. So trust me, even with the pieces you thought were gone forever. I know where they are, and I know how to make all things new. You've been walking in a season where hope has been tested. You've prayed, waited, and wondered when the breakthrough will come. Let me remind you, the impossible is where I do my best work. You're closer than you think to something only I can do. I am not bound by the natural. I am the God of miracles, the author of the supernatural. What looks impossible to you is completely possible for me. I don't need favorable conditions. I create them. I don't need open doors. I open them myself. You've been faithful even when it was hard. You've held on even when your hands were trembling. That faith is not unnoticed. It has moved my heart. And now I am moving in ways that will surprise you, shake you, and change you. There's a shift coming, a door about to open, a healing that will come suddenly, a restoration that will leave you speechless, not because of who you are, but because of who I am. I am the God who parts seas, moves mountains, and walks on water. Let me stretch your faith. Let me awaken your expectations again. The season of survival is giving way to a season of miracles. Do not lose heart now. I am working behind the scenes to fulfill what you thought was too far gone. Prepare your heart. Reignite your trust. Look with spiritual eyes. The impossible is not a wall to me. It's a window. And through it, I will show you my glory. What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, is what I have prepared for you. Hold on, child. Keep praying. Keep believing. What's coming will make it clear. Only God could have done this. There will be days when your heart feels heavy and your worth feels hidden. I know those days. I see when you question your place in the world, when you wonder if you truly matter. But listen closely. Your value does not depend on how you feel. Your worth is not based on your performance. It is based on my love. You are valuable because I made you, because you were created in my image, because you carry a spark of heaven within you. Your life has weight, meaning, and significance, even if the world doesn't always affirm it. Feelings come and go, but my truth remains. You may feel small, but I see greatness in you. You may feel tired, but I see perseverance. You may feel unseen, but I see someone incredibly precious to me. You are not just enough. You are chosen, beloved, and deeply purposed. I don't define you by your lowest moments. I don't measure you by your mistakes. I see beyond the surface, straight into the core of who you are, and I love what I see. You are not a failure. You are a miracle in motion. You matter, even when you don't hear applause. You have impact, even when you don't see results. You are valuable to me in the silence, in the stillness, in the sacred hiddenness of your journey. Don't let temporary emotions rob you of eternal truth. Let me remind you daily of your worth. Come into my presence and let me speak to the parts of you that feel forgotten. Let me love you where it hurts. Let me affirm what the world overlooks. You are mine, and because you are mine, you are more valuable than gold, more beautiful than words, more loved than you'll ever fully understand. Before the tears, before the fear, before the heartbreak, you were already known to me. I knew your laughter. I knew your strength. I knew the beauty that I placed within you before the pain tried to bury it. You are not defined by what hurt you. You are defined by who I created you to be. I saw what would wound you before it ever touched your life. I didn't cause your pain, but I knew it would come. And because I knew, I also prepared a way through it. I knew what it would take to carry you, and I already placed inside you everything needed to overcome. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not lost in your suffering. I know where every piece of you is, even the ones you feel have shattered, and I'm gently gathering them, not to make you what you were, but to make you something even stronger. The pain was never meant to define you. It was meant to refine you. Even in the midst of your trials, I am uncovering the deeper parts of you, your endurance, your faith, your compassion. I knew they were in you, and I am calling them forth through this season. When you ask, why did this have to happen? Remember that I see the whole picture. There are things being worked out in eternity that you don't yet understand. But what I can tell you now is this: I never left, not once. I walked with you through every fire. I knew you before the pain, and I know who you're becoming because of it. You are being molded by mercy, reshaped by grace. The pain may have altered your path, but it didn't cancel your purpose. Nothing can do that. Not while I'm your God. So let me remind you of who you are. You are more than your wounds. You are more than your past. You are mine. And I know you fully and love you completely. You've mourned what slipped through your fingers. Opportunities, relationships, time, even parts of yourself. I see your grief. I honor your sorrow. But I want you to hear me now. What you lost, I can restore. Nothing is beyond my power to renew. Restoration isn't about going back to what was. It's about building something new, something stronger, something deeper, something that reflects my glory even more. What was taken from you will not leave you empty. I will fill the gaps with my grace. There are seasons for mourning, and I've wept with you in yours. But now I'm inviting you into a new season, a season of rebuilding, of reclaiming, of rising again. What the enemy thought would destroy you, I am using as the foundation for your comeback. I restore not just externally, but internally. I bring back peace where fear lived. I bring back joy where sorrow sat. I bring back purpose where confusion tried to reign. My restoration touches every layer of your life: heart, soul, mind, and future. I've seen how hard you've tried to move forward, and I'm proud of you. Now let me breathe new life into the places you thought were finished. Watch me reopen doors. Watch me place new dreams in your spirit. Watch me turn ruins into something radiant. Your story is not over because of what you lost. In fact, it's about to shift into something miraculous. I don't just give back what was stolen. I multiply it. I restore in ways that leave you in awe. Trust me to do what only I can do. Lift your eyes, beloved. Restoration is not just a promise, it's a process I've already begun. And soon, you'll look back and say, only God could have done this. I know your heart has been through much. Betrayal, disappointment, fear, and silence have all tried to steal your peace. You've guarded yourself out of survival, but I want you to know, your heart is safe with me. I will never misuse it. I will never abandon it. I don't ask you to open your heart blindly. I understand why you've built walls, but I invite you now to rest in my love without fear. I am gentle, I am patient, I am trustworthy. You can bring me your vulnerability, and I will meet it with protection. You don't have to pretend with me. I already see everything inside you, the broken pieces, the silent questions, the ache you've carried for so long, and still, I love you completely. I cherish you. I know exactly how to handle the most fragile parts of your soul. Let me hold what others dropped. Let me heal what others wounded. You've tried to protect yourself by closing your heart, but you were never meant to live locked away. Freedom is found not in hiding, but in trusting me with what matters most, your heart. I will not break it. I will strengthen it. I will surround it with peace and fill it with hope. You won't have to harden yourself to survive anymore. In my presence, softness is not weakness. It's strength being restored. You were made to love and be loved fully. I am restoring your ability to feel without fear, to hope without hesitation, to open up without dread. This is holy healing. This is what I do when you place your heart in my hands. So breathe deep, child. Your heart is safe here. You are safe here. I will guard you, guide you, and never let you go. You were never meant to walk this life alone. Every step you take, I'm right beside you. In joy, I celebrate with you. In sorrow, I grieve with you. In confusion, I guide you. I walk with you, not just ahead of you, but beside you, within you, and around you. When you're too tired to continue, I match your pace. I don't rush you, I don't pressure you, I simply stay by your side. Whether your steps are confident or trembling, I remain present. You never need to perform for me. I love the real you. Some journeys are long, some paths are dark, but you've never walked a single day without me. Even when you didn't feel my presence, I was carrying you. My footprints are all over your past, and my promises lead your future. You are not forgotten in your struggles. I haven't taken my eyes off you. I'm not waiting for you to get it together before I walk with you. I'm walking with you through the mess, the process, and the healing. Every part of your path matters to me. Don't be afraid of what's ahead. I'm already there. Don't be haunted by what's behind. I've covered it with grace. And don't be overwhelmed by what's around you. My spirit is within you, steadying your soul. Let me walk with you through your questions, through your healing, through your waiting. You don't have to figure it all out to move forward. Just take my hand. I'll walk as slow as needed, but I will never walk away. So take courage, child. The journey is not yours alone. You are walking with the one who knows the way, holds your heart, and will never let you go. You've tried to be strong for so long. You've carried burdens silently, afraid to appear weak. But I want to tell you something sacred. Your weakness is not a flaw. It is where I work most. I am not drawn to your strength. I am drawn to your surrender. When you reach the end of yourself, you reach the beginning of my power. My grace flows best in the places where you finally let go. You don't have to prove anything to me. I already love you. I already chose you. I just want your heart. I know what it feels like to fall short, to feel overwhelmed, to be exhausted inside. But in those moments when you can't go on, I step in. I lift you. I strengthen you. I become what you cannot be on your own. You were never expected to do life alone. That pressure you carry to be everything for everyone is not from me. I invite you to rest, to lean on me, to let my strength become your source. I never get tired of holding you up. When you are weak, I am not disappointed, I am activated. I show up in your emptiness with fullness. I fill your tired soul with my spirit. I do the miraculous in the middle of your limitations. That's where I shine brightest. Your weakness is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of deep intimacy with me. I meet you there with compassion, not condemnation. I offer peace, not pressure. Rest in me, and you'll find strength you didn't know existed. So come as you are, not as you think you should be. Let me be your strength. I'm not asking for perfection, I'm asking for trust. I see every scar, every fracture, every place where life has crushed you, and I say, that is exactly where I will pour in my power. I don't look for perfect people, I look for surrendered hearts. And yours, though battered, is wide open. And that's all I need. You are not damaged goods. You are not defective. You are a testimony in progress. The pieces of your story that you've tried to hide are the very ones I'll use to bring healing to others. What once caused you shame will become a source of freedom, because you'll speak from experience, from compassion, from truth. Remember this. My son was broken on the cross, and through his brokenness came resurrection, redemption, and reconciliation. If I brought glory from that pain, I can bring glory from yours too. Nothing is wasted in my hands. Nothing is too shattered to be shaped into beauty. You are still usable. You are still called. You are still chosen. Don't let the voice of the enemy keep you sitting in ashes when I've called you to rise in beauty. The very parts of you that feel disqualified are the places where my grace will abound the most. I'm not afraid of your past. I'm not surprised by your pain. I've seen it all, and I still say, I want you. So bring me your pieces. Lay them before me. Let me create something sacred from your surrender. You are not too broken for me to use. You are the perfect vessel for my glory. I know there are moments when I feel distant. When your heart aches and you wonder, where are you, God? You look around for signs, for comfort, for answers, and when you don't see them, doubt creeps in. But listen to me. I am closer than you feel right now, closer than your skin, closer than your thoughts. I am right here beside you in the silence, in the stillness, in the in-between. Your feelings are real, but they are not always true. Emotions rise and fall, but I remain constant. You may not feel my hand, but it is holding yours. You may not hear my voice, but I am whispering peace to your soul. You may not sense my presence, but I am covering you in ways too deep for your senses to detect. There's nothing wrong with you because you feel distant. The walk of faith includes valleys, deserts, and shadows, but I do some of my most intimate work in those places where you stop relying on emotion and begin to walk by trust, where you learn that my nearness isn't proven by feelings, but by promises. Let me remind you of what is true. I will never leave you, I will never forsake you. I am a constant companion, a steady refuge, a quiet strength. I am the same God on the mountain and in the valley. I am with you in the joy and in the sorrow. I do not change. Lean into me even if you can't feel me. Open my word. Speak my name. Worship in the waiting. You will begin to sense the warmth return, the hope stir again, the awareness of my nearness like a soft light at dawn. I am never far, even when you feel alone. I've never taken my eyes off you. I've never stopped loving you, and I'm not going anywhere. You are not abandoned. You are not distant. You are held. You are seen. You are safe in the arms of a Father who refuses to let go. I'm closer than you feel right now, and I always will be. You may look at your life and see broken chapters, missed opportunities, and things you wish you could rewrite. But my beloved, let me remind you, I am the author of your story, and I'm not done writing. What you call ruined, I call redeemed. I am writing a redemption story through your life, one that will inspire, heal, and bring others back to me. Redemption doesn't erase your past, it transforms it. It takes the broken and makes it beautiful. It takes what was meant for evil and turns it for good. I am not ashamed of your story. I'm proud to redeem it, because your testimony will be proof that nothing and no one is too far gone for my grace. You've been through pain, real pain, but even your suffering will serve a purpose. Every tear has watered the ground for something new. Every wound will one day be a well for someone else. The places that broke you will become the places I use to bless others. I redeem through restoration, through renewal, through reawakening dreams you thought were dead. What you lost is not the end. What you buried is not gone. I will breathe life again into the places that feel forgotten. I am not just making things better, I'm making them new. Your life will not be defined by what went wrong, but by how I made it right, by how you trusted me in the ashes, by how I lifted you, healed you, and made your life a banner of my goodness. Your scars will be signs of survival, and your voice will carry power because it's been refined in fire. Do not hide your story, share it. Let it be a light. Let others see what I've done. Redemption stories are the most powerful stories, and yours will be one that carries my name with glory. Yes, child, I'm writing a redemption story through your life, and it will be one worth telling for generations to come. My precious one, I see the places inside you that you never mention, the wounds that go unspoken, the memories that still sting, the inner battles that no one else knows you fight. You've learned how to hide them well, behind smiles, behind silence, behind strength, but not from me. I see them, I understand them, and I want you to know. I will heal the places you don't talk about. Even the ones you've stopped believing can be healed. You don't have to protect me from your pain. I don't recoil from your brokenness. I move closer. I draw near to the heart that is heavy with unspoken grief. I'm not waiting for you to find the right words. I already know the depth of what you feel. I hear the prayers you've buried in your tears, the questions you've tucked away in shame, and I receive every one of them with compassion. There is nothing too dark for my light, nothing too complicated for my understanding, nothing too damaged for my hands to restore. Even the parts of you that feel too far gone, those are the very places I long to touch with my healing. I am not afraid of your pain. I am not intimidated by your wounds. I died and rose again to enter those very spaces and bring resurrection where there has been ruin. Let me in. Let me go to the roots, not to expose you, but to free you. You've carried these burdens long enough. You've silenced yourself to protect others, but now I want you to be safe enough to speak, safe enough to breathe, safe enough to believe that healing is not just a hope, it's a promise I made to those who call on me. And I always keep my promises. This healing will not always be instant. Some days will feel like unraveling, but I will be with you in each part of it. I will walk with you through the memories. I will sit with you in the tears. I will lift you when the weight is too much. My spirit is your comfort, and my word is your anchor. I will not rush you. I will not shame you. I will love you all the way through. I am not asking you to fix yourself. I am asking you to bring yourself to me, all of you. Especially the hidden places, especially the ones you fear will never change. There is nothing hidden that cannot be healed, nothing buried that cannot be redeemed. What you've been carrying in silence, I am ready to carry with you and heal completely. I will heal the places you don't talk about, because I love all of you. Not just the healed parts, but the hurting ones too. You may not realize how close I've been. In the moments where you wept alone, when the world turned away, and when your heart felt like it couldn't bear another blow, I was there. I didn't just witness your pain from a distance. I entered into it with you. I've been with you through every tear, not just observing, but holding you through each one, counting them like precious gems. I know your tears weren't just about sadness. Some came from frustration, others from exhaustion, many from heartbreak, and I understood each one perfectly. You didn't even have to explain them to me. Your tears are a language I know well. They speak volumes about what your heart is carrying, and I treasure every drop. I collect them in my bottle, not because I enjoy your pain, but because I honor your journey. When no one else understood what you were going through, I did. When others thought you were over it, but you still carried the ache, I stayed. I never grew tired of your sorrow. I never said, you should be stronger by now. I simply stayed. I stayed in the room of your soul. I wept with you. And when you had no more strength to cry, I gave you mine. I've seen you cry and still get up. I've seen you pray through tears, worship through tears, serve through tears. That kind of faith is powerful to me. That kind of perseverance is rare. And I want you to know, it has not gone unnoticed. You are stronger than you know, not because of what you've endured alone, but because of who you've leaned on in the pain. Every tear has watered something. It may not be visible yet, but there is growth coming. There is a harvest being formed in the dark, in the soil of your sorrow. I will turn your tears into testimony. I will transform your mourning into dancing. What once broke you will soon become your greatest source of compassion, power, and praise. You're not fragile, you're tender. You're not weak, you're human. And your tears are not signs of defeat. They are signs of a heart that still feels, still hopes, still longs for me. I'm proud of you for not shutting down. I'm proud of you for crying and still believing. I'm proud of you for not giving up. Yes, my child, I've been with you through every tear, and I always will be. There have been moments in your life when people left, sometimes suddenly, sometimes slowly, sometimes without explanation, and it hurt. It left you wondering what you did wrong, whether you were too much, not enough, or simply unworthy. But I want to speak healing over that wound now. I'll be the one who stays when others walk away. I'll never leave you. I'll never get tired of you. I'll never walk out on you. Not now, not ever. My love is not fickle. It doesn't come and go with moods, disappointments, or seasons. It is anchored in eternity. When I say I'm with you, I mean through every storm, through every failure, through every high and low. Even when you push me away, I stay. Even when you run, I follow. Even when you forget me, I remember you. You were never meant to carry the weight of abandonment alone. I carried that weight on the cross. I absorbed the pain of rejection so that you could live in the security of my acceptance. You are not alone. Not now, not in the future. When people leave, I draw closer. When relationships end, I become even more intimate with your heart. You may still feel the sting of betrayal. I understand it well. I too was betrayed, abandoned, denied. But I turned that pain into purpose, and I will do the same for you. What was meant to break you will become the bridge that leads you deeper into my love. What others walked away from, I will walk into. I will never grow weary of you. I never get bored of your prayers. I never roll my eyes at your emotions. I don't need space from you. I am your space, your home, your hiding place. You are my joy, not my obligation. I chose you, and I stay with what I choose. Let me heal the wounds that others left behind. Let me fill the spaces they abandoned. Let me restore the confidence that was shaken when they walked away. Their leaving doesn't define your worth. My staying does, and I will stay through it all. So rest easy, beloved. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be the one who stays. You've carried so much, child. You've tried so hard to hold everything together, to fix what's broken, to carry what's heavy, to keep going when your heart begged to rest. I see the way you've pushed through, the way you've stayed strong for others. But now I'm asking you to let go. You can rest now. I am taking care of it. You don't have to hold this alone anymore. I know how hard it is to lay it down. I know the fear that if you stop, everything might fall apart. But I'm not asking you to abandon responsibility. I'm inviting you to trust me with what is beyond your control. You weren't made to carry the world. That's my job, and I've never lost control. Not once. Let me take the weight off your shoulders. Let me speak peace into your restless thoughts. Let me carry the burdens you were never meant to bear. You've prayed, you've wept, you've done all you can. Now let me be God in your situation. I see what you can't, I know what's needed, and I will act on your behalf. Rest is not laziness, rest is worship. It says, I trust you, God, more than I trust myself. It allows me to move freely. It gives your body a chance to recover, your soul a chance to breathe, and your heart space to be renewed. I created the Sabbath not just as a command, but as a gift. You are not failing by resting. You are obeying, healing, and surrendering. I'm not just asking you to rest physically, but emotionally and spiritually too. Rest from overthinking. Rest from striving. Rest from trying to prove yourself. You are already enough in my eyes. You are already seen, already loved, already held. Let me be your safe place. I promise you. While you rest, I work. While you sleep, I speak. While you sit in stillness, I shift things in your favor. You don't need to worry about every detail. I've got it. I'm already ahead of you, already working all things together for good. So lay your head down tonight, not in fear, but in trust. You can rest now, my beloved, because I am taking care of it. You've been walking through a season where everything feels uncertain. Your prayers seem quieter, your emotions unsteady, and your connection to me feels fragile. But I want you to know this. Your faith is still growing. Even when you don't feel it, you're not going backward. You're being refined. You're being rooted deeper into the unseen. Faith is not a feeling, it is a choice. And every time you choose to trust me, even in your doubt, every time you whisper my name when your heart is tired, every time you show up when you feel like giving up, that's faith, that's power, that's growth. Heaven takes notice even when you don't. You think growth is visible, but often it's invisible. You think faith is loud, but often it's silent. I see what's happening beneath the surface. The roots you're forming now will anchor you in storms to come. The foundation you're building now will carry miracles later. Don't let the quiet fool you. Something beautiful is rising inside you. I'm not measuring your faith by emotion. I'm measuring it by endurance, by perseverance, by the way you keep coming back to me even when you feel dry. That is mature faith. That is unshakable trust. That is what pleases my heart more than emotional highs or grand gestures. You're not failing me. You're not falling behind. You're walking through the fires and coming out as gold. You are learning to believe not because you feel me, but because you know me. That is a higher faith, one that will not be shaken when winds blow. I'm proud of you for staying the course. I'm proud of you for continuing. I'm proud of you for choosing to believe that I am good, even when it's hard to see. And I promise, one day, you'll look back and realize this season grew you more than you thought possible. Yes, my child, your faith is growing, and it is beautiful to me. You've grieved some things deeply, people you loved, moments that slipped away, seasons that ended too soon, dreams that felt so real but vanished without warning. You've learned how to survive with those empty places inside, convincing yourself they're gone forever. But today I say to you, I'm restoring what you thought was lost forever. Not in the same way, but in a better way, in a higher form, in a more perfect timing. I never let you lose something without preparing something greater on the other side. I saw your tears, not just of sadness, but of silent surrender. The kind that whispers, I let it go, Lord. And I want you to know that when you let go in faith, I take hold. I never leave surrendered things in the dust. I redeem, I reimagine, I resurrect, I restore. Some of what you lost had to fall away to make space. You didn't see the entanglement, the delay, the weight it carried, but I did. And though it broke your heart to release it, you trusted me, and now I am honoring that trust by returning to you what fits your future, not your past. What I restore will not carry the same pain. It will come wrapped in peace and promise. You see, my restoration doesn't mean repeating what once was. It means transforming it. It means giving you joy that doesn't fade with circumstances. It means bringing beauty where the ashes once laid. It means taking your sorrow and planting it like a seed, then watering it with my love until it blooms into something eternal. You may not even know what's being restored yet, but I do. I'm rebuilding trust in your heart. I'm restoring clarity to your vision. I'm giving new hope where resignation once lived. You'll wake up one day and realize it's not the same as before. It's better. It's from God. Don't measure your future by what you lost. I'm doing something new. I'm bringing full circle moments. I'm aligning your heart with mine so that when I bring it back around, you'll receive it with wisdom, with gratitude, and with joy. You won't cling out of fear anymore. You'll hold loosely, freely, and with faith. So breathe deeply, my child. Restoration is not a dream, and it's a promise. And I, your Redeemer, always keep my promises. What you thought was lost forever is coming back, and it's coming back better. You've walked through fire. You've held the ashes of dreams and relationships and pieces of yourself that didn't survive the storm. You've stared at what remains, unsure of what can be built from here. But I want you to hear me clearly. I will give you beauty for ashes. I don't leave my children in ruins. I rebuild them with glory. What burned you didn't destroy you. It refined you. It exposed what was false and strengthened what was true. The fire felt cruel, but it was cleansing. And now, where ashes lay, I'm planting something sacred. My beauty isn't just decoration. It's transformation. It's healing that radiates, joy that renews, hope that remains even when the winds blow hard. I never promised a life without sorrow, but I did promise comfort, redemption, and restoration. I walk with you through the fire. I do not let it consume you. I stand beside you when the smoke rises. I do not let it choke you. And I whisper to your soul, it is not over. I'm just getting started. What you thought would mark you with shame, I will use to crown you with wisdom. What the enemy used to humiliate you, I will use to elevate you. The ashes of your broken moments are the soil for new beginnings. I don't sweep them away, I turn them into testimony. I cause flowers to grow in the places you thought were dead. You may still smell the smoke, still feel the heat, still carry the memory, but soon you'll carry beauty. Not superficial, fleeting beauty. Eternal beauty. The beauty of peace after chaos. The beauty of purpose after pain. The beauty of being touched by heaven and never being the same again. I am not asking you to forget what happened. I'm asking you to let me redeem it. Let me place something radiant in the place of devastation. Let me show the world what I can do with broken hearts, surrendered ashes, and brave souls who say, I still trust you, Lord. Yes, my child, you will receive beauty for ashes. That is my promise. And I never make a promise I won't fulfill. There was a time when you expected me to move only through signs, wonders, and miracles that shook the earth. And yes, I still do that. But in this season, I am drawing you closer. I'm teaching you to hear my whisper, not just my thunder. Because while the thunder can grab your attention, the whisper keeps your heart. You've prayed for answers, for direction, for confirmation, and I've been answering, just not in the way you expected. I've been speaking in quiet moments, through a scripture that lingered, a phrase you couldn't shake, a peace that settled on your spirit. These are my whispers, personal, sacred, direct to your soul. I am not distant. I'm just changing how I speak to you, because I want intimacy, not just intervention. I want you to come close enough to lean in, to wait, to listen with your heart instead of your ears. I want you to know me not just as a mighty God, but as a near father, a gentle friend, a tender guide. In the whisper, you'll find clarity without chaos. In the whisper, you'll discover trust that isn't shaken by feelings. In the whisper, your spirit will learn to discern my presence in everyday life, not just in the miracles, but in the mundane, because I am there too. I'm not hiding from you. I'm inviting you into stillness, into deeper trust, into the kind of relationship that isn't dependent on outward signs, but is built on inner communion. I'm training your spirit to hear what others miss, not because you're better, but because you're willing. So turn down the noise, step away from the rush, rest your heart in me and listen. I am speaking, and what I say will fill you with wisdom, peace, and direction. You don't need the earthquake right now, you need the whisper, and I am there in the whisper, waiting for your attention. Come close, my child, I'm still speaking, can you hear it? My whisper is love. You may not feel it yet, but I see it clearly. You are not the same person you used to be. You've grown, you've healed, you've shed old mindsets and learned how to fight differently. What used to break you now bends around you. What once paralyzed you now drives you closer to me. The changes have been quiet, but they are real, and they are deep. You've survived things that once would have crushed you. You've walked through storms that tried to drown you, and you came out soaked in grace. The fire that once frightened you now fuels you. The fear that used to control you no longer defines your decisions. That's transformation. That's victory. That's me, working from the inside out. You don't see all of it yet, but I do. I see the way you now pause before reacting, the way you forgive more quickly, the way you listen to my spirit more eagerly. I see the wisdom growing behind your eyes, the courage rising in your soul. You are stronger, not just emotionally, but spiritually. You are more rooted, more discerning, more refined. Let go of the guilt that tries to tie you to your past. You are not who you were. Yes, you still struggle. Yes, you still fall. But you rise faster now, you repent more quickly, you carry humility and hunger, not shame and pride. That is growth, that is transformation, that is my spirit at work within you. You may still wrestle with old thoughts, but now you recognize them as lies. You may still feel the pull of old habits, but now you know how to run to me instead. Don't underestimate the shift that's happened in you. You are becoming the person I dreamed you would become when I formed you in the secret place. Others may not see the change yet. They may treat you like who you used to be, but keep walking, keep shining. Your life will testify louder than any words. I will validate the change in you with fruit that speaks for itself. You are not the same person you used to be, and I am so proud of who you're becoming. There are blessings on the way that you haven't even imagined. There are doors I'm opening that you haven't yet knocked on. There are answers coming to questions you haven't known how to ask. My child, I'm preparing you for things you haven't even prayed for, because my dreams for you are bigger than your requests. You've asked me for good things, but I'm a God who gives abundantly more than all you ask or imagine. I've seen your heart. I've seen your sacrifice, your obedience, your secret prayers. And while you wait for what you asked for, I'm already working on things you haven't seen coming. Surprises that will leave you in awe. Miracles that will make you weep with joy. I don't just respond to your prayers. I respond to your heart. I know the longings you don't know how to express. I understand the desires that are buried too deep for words, and I'm preparing answers that are not just what you want, but what you truly need. I am shaping blessings to fit your purpose, your calling, your future. That's why I'm preparing you too. Some of the delays you've experienced have not been punishment, they've been preparation. I've been building your strength, refining your focus, deepening your character. Because when the blessing comes, I want you to be able to carry it without it crushing you. You will soon walk into rooms you never expected. You will hear opportunities you didn't apply for. You will encounter people whose hearts have been prepared to bless you. It will feel sudden, but it won't be. I've been arranging it all along. Heaven has been working while you've been waiting. Don't limit me to the size of your imagination. I'm the God of overflow. I surprise, I exceed, I astonish. What's coming is greater than what was lost. What's coming will answer prayers you didn't know you had. It will be evidence that I've been involved in every detail of your journey. Yes, child, I'm preparing you for things you haven't even prayed for. Get ready. It's closer than you think. My beloved child, I know how often you've poured yourself out in silence. You've been faithful in the unseen places, generous when it cost you, kind when it wasn't returned. And even though the world may not have noticed, I did. I see your effort, every quiet act of love, every hidden sacrifice, every moment of obedience that no one clapped for. You are not working in vain. You are walking in purpose. You don't need to perform for me. I don't require applause or perfection. I simply ask for a willing heart, and yours has been so beautiful to me. You've kept going when it was hard. You've sown seeds when the ground looked dry. And though it may feel like no one understands the depth of what you carry, I understand completely. I see the private tears, the inner battles, the way you choose love when bitterness knocks at your door. Even your smallest acts of faithfulness are recorded in heaven. They are not forgotten. They are not lost in the noise of the world. You are planting in a field that will one day burst forth in blessing, both for you and for others. Your labor is not in vain because it is rooted in love. And love never fails. You may think your impact is small, but I tell you, and it is eternal. Let me encourage your heart. Keep going. You may not feel celebrated now, but one day you will hear me say, "Well done." And that moment will make every unseen step worth it. My rewards are not shallow. They are deep, rich, everlasting, and they are coming. Not because you earned them, but because I am good, and I honor those who walk with me. Don't grow weary in doing good. Don't give up when it seems unnoticed. Even when others forget, I remember. Even when others pass by, I remain. I'm the God who sees in secret and rewards openly. I'm the one who watches you, not with judgment, but with joy. And I never overlook those who love me sincerely. Your story is not one of being ignored. It's one of being held closely by the God who sees every breath. You are not overlooked. You are not invisible. You are seen, and not just seen, valued, delighted in, celebrated in the heavens. So walk with peace, child. I see your effort, and I will reward it in my perfect time. You've questioned your strength lately. You've asked yourself how much more you can handle. You've felt fragile, stretched, even close to breaking. But I want you to hear my voice louder than your thoughts. You are stronger than you think, because I am in you. Your strength does not come from your emotions or your energy. It comes from my spirit dwelling within you, sustaining you moment by moment. There have been times you didn't think you'd make it, but here you are, still standing. That's not just your resilience, that's me, living inside you, holding you up when your own strength failed. You've faced more than most know, and you've come through it not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. And that same spirit is still alive in you now. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet endurance. Sometimes it's waking up and trying again. Sometimes it's choosing peace over panic, hope over despair. You've done all of that again and again, and I want you to know, I see that as strength. I honor that kind of quiet courage. I bless that kind of faithfulness. Stop measuring your strength by how you feel. Emotions come and go, but I do not. I am constant. I am unshakable. I am the solid rock beneath your feet. And when you feel weak, then you are strong. Because my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Your moments of fragility are where my power flows the most. You are not carrying your life alone. I am yoked with you. I am fighting battles you don't even see. I am protecting your heart, ordering your steps, refreshing your soul. You are never without help, never without grace, never without me. And because of that, you can keep going, not with fear, but with confidence. You are a warrior, even when you feel wounded. You are a light, even when you feel dim. You are powerful, not because you always feel brave, but because you are connected to the source of all power. That's what makes you unshakable. Not your strength, but mine living in you. So lift your head, breathe deep. You are stronger than you think, because I am in you, and I will never leave. My child, I know you've been carrying so much. Responsibilities, burdens, concerns, unanswered questions, silent fears. Your shoulders feel heavy. Your heart feels overwhelmed. And I want you to hear this clearly. The weight you're carrying is not yours alone. I never asked you to walk through this life without my help. You were never meant to be self-sufficient. You were meant to be supported by me. You've taken on burdens I never intended for you to carry alone. You've tried to be strong for others, to hold everything together, to manage every detail. But I'm asking you now to lay it all down. Let me help you. Let me be the strength you're trying to summon. Let me be the peace you're desperate to feel. I am not far off, watching you struggle. I am right beside you, whispering, let me carry this. The heaviness you feel is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you need me more deeply. And that's not weakness. That's wisdom. Coming to me is not giving up. It's giving me permission to step in and lift what you cannot. You were never meant to carry guilt, shame, pressure, or fear. I died to free you from that. I rose to carry the weight of your sin and sorrow. I remain to carry the daily burdens that pile up in your soul. You're not weak for needing help. You're human, and I am God, and I love helping you. Bring me your worries. Bring me the things you feel ashamed of. Bring me the stress you pretend isn't there. I am not overwhelmed by your load. I am bigger than what burdens you, and I will carry it with tenderness, with strength, and with joy, because I love being near you. I love walking with you. I love lifting what weighs you down. Let me exchange your heaviness for my rest. Let me trade your anxiety for my peace. Let me hold your heart in ways no one else can. The weight doesn't make you unworthy. It makes you ready to receive my grace. The weight you're carrying is not yours alone, and it never has to be again. You've been trying so hard to find clarity. You've been searching for direction, planning your steps, and longing for answers that seem just out of reach. And I know the pressure you feel to figure it all out, but I'm whispering to you now, gently and firmly, you don't have to figure everything out right now. Let that pressure fall. Let peace return. I'm leading you, even when you don't have all the details. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are not failing. You are simply walking through a season where faith requires letting go of the need to understand everything. I know how deeply you want to plan, to prepare, to avoid pain, but faith is not found in certainty. It's found in trust, and I am still trustworthy. You don't need to know all the answers to walk with me. You don't need a 5-year plan to be in my will. You need one thing, a heart that says, yes, Lord, ask even if I don't understand. That is where I meet you. That is where I direct you. That is where I release provision and guidance in surrender. Stop exhausting yourself trying to see what only I can see. My thoughts are higher than yours. My ways are beyond your comprehension, but my heart is always for you. My plans are always for your good, and when it's time to move, I will make the way clear. I will shine a light where you need to step next. You are not late. You are not left behind. You are right where you need to be, in the palm of my hand. Rest in that truth. Trust that I am working all things together, even the things you don't understand yet. You don't have to fear the unknown when you're walking with the one who knows everything. Let peace be your guide. Let joy return. Let hope anchor you again. You don't need to figure out your whole future. You just need to follow me today, and I promise that is enough. So breathe deep, my child. I've got you. You don't need all the answers. You just need me. I know how much you've missed your joy. I know how long it's felt hidden, buried beneath stress, grief, heaviness, or simply exhaustion. You've wondered if you'll ever feel light again, if you'll ever laugh freely, if your soul will ever breathe with delight. And I'm telling you today, your joy will return, and it will be stronger than before, because I am restoring not just your strength, but your song. You've walked through dark valleys. You've carried responsibilities and losses that made you forget what it's like to dance inside. But the absence of joy is not permanent. It is not your destiny. It is a pause, not the end. I am stirring something in you even now. Joy is being reborn, slowly, deeply, quietly, but powerfully. I do not give joy like the world gives. The world offers shallow happiness, fleeting moments, but I give rivers of joy, supernatural, unshakable, unexplainable, joy that can rise even in sorrow, joy that is rooted in knowing me, not in having everything perfect, joy that gives you strength to endure and the courage to hope again. You will laugh again. You will feel again. You will sing again. Your heart will open like a flower to the sun, and warmth will rush back in. I am not only healing your wounds, I am renewing your wonder. I am not only lifting your head, I am lifting your spirit. Joy is not just an emotion. It is a gift I'm giving back to you. Let go of guilt for being tired. Let go of fear that joy won't return. Let go of lies that tell you this heaviness is forever. It's not. Morning always follows night. Healing always follows hurt. And joy, your joy, is already on its way. Begin to thank me for it now. Begin to expect it. Begin to prepare space in your heart to feel again. Because I will not just return your joy, I will increase it. It will come back deeper, fuller, and more meaningful than ever before. You may think it's over. That dream, that relationship, that part of your heart that once burned with joy and purpose. You may look at it and see only what is lifeless, what has been buried, what you once hoped for, but have now silently grieved. But I speak to you now with resurrection in my voice. I am still the God of resurrection. What looks dead to you is never beyond my power to revive. I specialize in bringing life to the impossible. I bring gardens out of deserts, hope out of ruin, and beauty out of ashes. I have not changed. I have not lost my power. I have not stopped raising what has fallen. Your circumstances may feel final, but I am the final word, and I still breathe life into what others have already buried. There are things you've let go of, not because you wanted to, but because you thought there was no more use hoping. But I want you to hope again. I want you to remember that the same power that raised my son from the grave is alive in you, and it is still working. Your story is not over, your miracle is not gone, your purpose has not passed its time. I am the one who speaks to tombs and sees them open. I am the one who takes what is forgotten and sets it in motion again. I know how to raise what looks too far gone. I know how to reawaken love, reignite vision, and restore joy that has been buried under years of disappointment. Nothing is too late for me. I am already moving. Even now, I am stirring things in the spiritual realm. What has been quiet will start to move. What has been closed will begin to unlock. What has felt cold will begin to warm again. Watch, expect, stand in faith. Because when I resurrect, I don't just bring something back to life. I make it stronger, purer, better than before. So bring me what feels dead. Bring me what you've given up on. Lay it before me, not with striving, but with surrender. And watch me do what only I can do. You are not too far gone. That dream is not too buried. That part of you is not too broken. I speak life, and life still responds to my voice. Yes, I am still the God of resurrection, and I'm not done with your story yet. I know the parts of you that still hurt, the ones you hide even from yourself, the pieces that were fractured in childhood, cracked by betrayal, or worn down by loss. You've done your best to gather them, to function with them, to move forward despite the ache. But I want you to hear this today, child. I'm holding every piece of your heart. Not one is forgotten. Not one is too small. I've seen them all, and I'm healing them one by one. You've gotten used to covering your pain with strength. You've learned how to keep smiling when you feel like crying. You've carried others even when you felt empty yourself. But it was never my will for you to live holding brokenness alone. That's why I've come. Not to fix you from afar, but to be near, to be tender, to be the one who gently gathers the shattered parts and makes you whole again. There is nothing too fragile for me to touch. Nothing too damaged for me to restore. When I hold your heart, I don't criticize its cracks. I cherish them. I see them as reminders of your resilience. But more than that, I see them as opportunities for my love to seep in. My love flows into the wounds, and where my love flows, healing begins. You may not even know all the places that are hurting, but I do. I've seen the hidden corners of your soul, and I'm already there, already working, already weaving healing into the fibers of your being. Some healing will be quick, others will take time, but all of it will be sacred, because you are sacred to me. I want to give you more than just survival. I want to give you wholeness. I want to fill the hollow places, soothe the tender ones, and awaken the joyful ones again. You are not too broken to be beautiful. You are not too damaged to be used. In my hands, you are being shaped into a vessel that carries not only my presence, but also deep compassion for others. So let me keep holding your heart. Let me protect it. Let me speak truth to it. You don't need to guard it from me. I am your safest place. I will never mishandle your emotions, ignore your pain, or rush your healing. Yes, I'm holding every piece of your heart, and I will hold them until you are whole again. You've always been the strong one, the one who keeps going, the one who pushes through, the one who carries more than you speak of. But in this moment, I am inviting you to something deeper, something more sacred, surrender. Because while the world sees strength and control, I see glory in your surrender. That's where transformation begins. You've tried, you've planned, you've held it together with faith and effort, and I see how much that has cost you. But I'm not asking for your perfection. I'm asking for your permission. Will you let me take what you've been holding? Will you release the outcomes and trust that I can carry you further than your strength can? Surrender is not giving up. It's giving in to my love. It's laying down your weapons and choosing to believe that my way is better, even when it feels uncertain. It's trusting that I don't just see the path. I am the path, and I walk it with you, every step, every breath, every heartbeat. I know you feel safer when you're in control, but true safety is found in me. I will never lead you into harm. I will never abandon you mid-story. When you surrender, you shift from striving to resting, from surviving to abiding, from fear to peace, and in that place I begin to move like never before. Surrender is where miracles begin. It's where pride is replaced by peace, where fear is replaced by faith. It's not weakness, and it's worship. It's the holiest act you can offer. Not my will, but yours, Lord. And I respond to that offering with favor, protection, and power. So lay it all down. The pressure, the plan, the anxiety, the outcome. Lay it before me like a seed. It may feel like loss, but it will grow into something eternal. I will honor your surrender with my presence, and in my presence, you'll find everything you've been searching for. Yes, child, there is glory in your surrender. And I am here waiting with arms wide open. You've been walking through a long chapter, one that stretched your heart, tested your faith, and worn your soul thin. You've wondered how much longer, if things will ever change, if the next season will be any different. And now hear my voice. I'm turning the page in your story. This season is shifting. Something new is being written. It's time for a holy transition. I never forget a chapter. I honor what you've walked through, the trials, the tears, the hidden victories, but I am not a God who leaves you stuck. I am a God of movement, of momentum, of miracles in motion, and I'm writing a new chapter for you, one marked by peace, by joy, by clarity. What once confused you will soon make sense. You've outgrown the season you're in. That's why it feels tight, uncomfortable, like shoes that no longer fit. You're being prepared for something that will stretch you differently, not in pain, but in purpose. You are not repeating the past. You are stepping into a continuation of the promise. I have not forgotten where this is going, and where I'm taking you is more beautiful than you know. The pain did not disqualify you. The silence did not stall you. The delays did not detour me. I'm still writing, still guiding, still orchestrating every line. And now, as I turn the page, get ready. Some things will end, some things will begin, and all of it will make space for what is coming. You don't have to be afraid of the unknown. I go before you. I light your path. I prepare people, places, and timing. You only need to follow. Trust the author. I know how to write stories full of redemption, and I know how to finish them with glory. So take a deep breath, say goodbye to what needs to be left behind, and step with me into the new. It's already been prepared. The page is turning and the ink is fresh with promise. Yes, my child, I'm turning the page in your story, and this next chapter will be beautiful. You've had moments where you questioned yourself, where you doubted your purpose, your strength, your worth, where the voice of failure felt louder than my voice. But I need you to hear me clearly now. I have never stopped believing in you, not once. Not even on your worst day, not even when you gave up on yourself. My belief in you is not based on your performance. It's rooted in my perfect love. I see the real you, the you that I created, the you that's still becoming. I don't define you by your mistakes. I define you by my image, stamped on your soul. I see potential where you see problems. I see promise where you see pain. I see a warrior where you see weakness. And I want you to start seeing what I see. You are not too far gone. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You're right on time, right on schedule, right in the middle of a divine work. You are not falling behind. You are being refined. And what you think disqualifies you is often the very thing I'll use to set others free. Let my voice be the loudest in your life. Drown out the critics. Silence the lies. Shut down the shame. I speak life over you. I speak destiny over you. I speak grace over every area you feel unworthy. My belief in you comes from knowing exactly who you are and never regretting creating you. I'm cheering for you, not just as your God, but as your father, your friend, your shepherd, your comforter. I see how far you've come. I see how hard you've tried, and I'm not ashamed of you. I'm proud. You don't need to be perfect for me to be pleased. You just need to stay close. So stand tall again, lift your head again, believe again, not just in me, but in what I've placed inside you. You are a reflection of my glory. You are my masterpiece, and I'm not finished with you yet. Yes, child, I have never stopped believing in you, and I never will. My beloved, I know how hard it is to walk when you can't see what's ahead. I know how exhausting it is to trust when everything around you feels unstable. You've been doing your best to hold on to me, even when the ground feels like it's shifting beneath your feet. And I want you to know this today. I am faithful even when everything feels uncertain. I am your unshakable ground. You may not know what's coming next, but you can be certain of who I am. I have never failed you. I have never turned my back on you. My character does not waver with circumstances. I remain steady, the same yesterday, today, and forever. When you cannot hold yourself up, I hold you. When you don't know what to pray, I intercede for you. When you are confused, I remain clear. I have a plan. Even if you don't see it, I do. I'm not confused about your future. I'm not nervous about your next step. I've already prepared the way, and I'm walking it with you. What feels uncertain to you is fully known by me, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from my love along the way. You don't have to fake peace. I'll give you real peace. The kind that settles your mind even when questions remain. The kind that stills your heart even in the unknown. The kind that reminds you, if I brought you this far, I will not leave you here. You've seen me move before, and you'll see it again. So lean into me, not into your own understanding. Let go of the pressure to figure it all out. Let me guide your steps, not just with answers, but with my presence. I know the way, I am the way, and I'm leading you not toward confusion, but into clarity, in my perfect time. There is nothing uncertain about my love. There is nothing inconsistent about my care. There is no moment when I forget you, abandon you, or stop working on your behalf. Even when everything else feels unsure, I am sure. I am dependable. I am faithful, still and always. Yes, even in this, I am faithful, and I will not fail you. There are things you've learned to do because they're right. Reading, praying, showing up, serving, and I love that you're growing in those things. I love your effort. I see your discipline. But today I want to tell you something deeper. I want your heart, not just your habits. I'm not looking for routine. I'm longing for relationship. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's not about checking spiritual boxes. You don't impress me with performance. You draw me near with honesty. I want the version of you that's still struggling. I want the version of you that feels empty, tired, uncertain. I don't need polished. I want present. I want you. When you read my word, don't just read to finish. Read to hear me. When you pray, don't feel like you need fancy words. Just talk to me. Whisper, cry, sit in silence. I already know what you're carrying, but I love when you invite me into it. You don't have to feel spiritual to be close to me. You just need to be real. This is not about religion. It's about intimacy. I want to walk with you in the mundane. I want to laugh with you, cry with you, dream with you. I want to be the first place your heart turns, not just the last resort. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for proximity. I'm already near. Just turn toward me. You may feel like your heart is messy. Bring it anyway. You may feel like you've been distant. Come closer now. You may feel like you've failed too often. Let me remind you, there is no condemnation in my love, only invitation, only grace, only me waiting with open arms and a heart full of mercy. The habits are good. They build rhythm. They keep your soul rooted, but they must always lead you back to me, because without the heart, the habit becomes hollow. And you were made for more than hollow rhythms. You were made for communion, for closeness, for love that doesn't require effort, just surrender. So come, bring your heart. That's all I've ever really wanted. I know you've asked why so many times. Why this battle? Why this hardship? Why this timing? I've heard the cry of your heart and I've caught every tear. And I want you to know something that will one day make sense. What you're walking through will become someone else's breakthrough. Your pain has purpose. Your story has power, and I will use all of it for my glory. You don't see it now, but this season is shaping more than just your life. It's creating a testimony, one that will be a lifeline to others. You'll speak words you learned in the dark, and they'll bring light to someone else's soul. Your journey through the valley will one day lead someone else out of theirs. Nothing is wasted, not a moment, not a scar. You may not feel strong right now, but I see strength being forged in every quiet decision to keep going. You are becoming someone who carries hope like a flame in the storm, and that flame will light the way for others who think they are alone in their suffering. Your story will tell them, you're not alone, you can make it. I did because of God. Pain gives you compassion. Struggle gives you authority. Endurance gives you credibility. These are the gifts hidden in hardship, and though they don't feel like gifts now, they will become tools in your hands, tools I'll use to rescue others, heal others, lift others. And in doing so, you'll find that your healing runs deeper too. You don't need to rush the process. Just keep walking with me. I'm forming something eternal in you. One day you'll stand in a place of victory and look back not with regret but with reverence. You'll understand why the path was so hard and how every step mattered. You're not just going through this. You are growing through this, and your growth will bless more people than you can count. There are names, faces, hearts that will be touched by your endurance, your faith, and your vulnerability. You don't know them yet, but I do. And I'm already preparing the moment your breakthrough meets their need. Yes, child, what you're walking through will become someone else's breakthrough, and I will use every part of it for good. You've carried shame like a shadow, sometimes loud, sometimes quiet, but always lingering. You've second-guessed your worth. You've wondered if I'm disappointed, if I'm tired of your failures, if I'm shaking my head at you. But today I need to speak something loudly to your soul. I am not ashamed of you, I am proud of you. Yes, even now, yes, just as you are. I see your fight. I see the way you get back up. I see the way you wrestle and still choose me. That's not failure, that's faith. You may stumble, but you haven't quit. You may cry, but you haven't run away. You are growing, you are trying, you are walking through fire and still believing. And that makes me proud. I'm not counting your flaws, and I'm counting your steps. Every one you take toward me, I rejoice. I'm not angry that you're struggling. I'm moved by your persistence. I'm not waiting to punish. I'm waiting to embrace. Shame is not your portion, child. It was nailed to the cross. What's left now is grace. Let me wash you in truth. You are forgiven. You are redeemed. You are chosen. You are cherished. I don't call you by your sin. I call you by your name. I call you beloved. I call you mine. There's no condemnation for you in my presence. Only mercy, only restoration, only love that never runs out. Even if others have judged you, I have not. Even if you've judged yourself, I still choose you. I have never once regretted calling you. I have never once looked away from you in shame. I look upon you with eyes of fire, not burning with wrath, but burning with love. So let go of shame. It has no place here. Come close again. Let me remind you who you are. Let me love the broken parts back into life. I'm not ashamed of your mess. I step into it. I speak peace over it. I bring beauty from it. Yes, my beloved, I'm not ashamed of you. I'm proud of you, always. I know how much life has weighed you down, how often you've gone into survival mode, just making it through the day, the hour, the moment. I know how deeply tired your soul has become just trying to keep up. But I need to remind you of something holy. You were made for more than survival. You were made to thrive, to shine, to walk in fullness and freedom. Survival is not your final story. It was a necessary season, but it is not your destiny. I created you for abundance, not in material things, but in love, in peace, in purpose. You were made to wake up with wonder, to breathe without dread, to carry joy like a river in your soul. That is your inheritance as my child. I see how hard you fought. I honor the resilience in your heart. But now I'm calling you out of the wilderness into promise. I'm inviting you out of just getting by and into overflowing grace. You don't have to live in a state of constant emergency. You don't have to brace yourself for the next blow. I am your rest, I am your shepherd, and I lead you into still waters again. Let me show you what thriving looks like. It looks like peace in your thoughts. It looks like laughter returning to your voice. It looks like vision in your eyes, purpose in your steps, and hope rising in your chest. Thriving is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of me, fully alive in you, guiding your every breath. You were never meant to live afraid. You were never meant to carry it all. You were never meant to settle for a half-lived life. I came that you may have life, and have it abundantly. I came to revive what routine has dulled, to restore what trauma has stolen, to awaken you to the joy of simply being mine. So come out of hiding. Come out of the cave of survival. Let me lead you into wide open spaces. Let me fill your cup until it runs over. Let me remind you, you are not merely a survivor, you are an heir, a vessel, a carrier of glory. You've been through a season of breaking, not because I wanted to harm you, but because there were things that could no longer stay. I saw what was holding you back. I saw what needed to be removed. I saw the places that had grown weak beneath the surface. And now with great tenderness I am rebuilding you, and I am rebuilding you with greater strength than before. This rebuilding isn't just about recovery, it's about redesign. I'm not putting you back the same way. I'm reinforcing what was fragile. I'm strengthening what was cracked. I'm replacing fear with faith and weariness with wisdom. You won't just stand again, you'll stand taller. You won't just walk again, you'll walk with purpose. You may not feel strong yet, but trust the process. Strength doesn't always come with a shout. Sometimes it grows in the silence. Every time you say yes to me when you feel like giving up, your foundation is growing stronger. Every time you choose hope, forgiveness, or patience, I'm adding another brick to what I'm building. You are not behind. You are in my hands, and I'm taking my time, not because I'm slow, but because I'm building something that will last. This strength won't be shaken by the next storm. It will hold firm, because it won't be your own strength anymore. It will be mine in you. Others may not see the rebuilding yet, but they will. Soon, the fruit will match the root. The outside will reflect the healing happening inside, and people will look at you and say, only God could have done this, because it will be my fingerprints all over your life. So don't be discouraged by what's still under construction. Rejoice that I haven't left the site. I am the builder who never abandons the project, and what I start, I finish, with excellence, with beauty, and with joy. Yes, my beloved, I'm rebuilding you with greater strength, and it will be glorious. There are things you've lost that you didn't deserve to lose, opportunities that slipped away, friendships that dissolved, time that felt stolen, parts of yourself that you once knew but somehow got buried in the weight of life. You've tried to move on, but the ache still lingers. So hear me now. I will restore what was taken from you. I saw every moment of loss. I wept with you. I held you in the aftermath, and I never forgot. What the enemy meant for harm, I will use for good. What life took from you without permission, I will return with purpose. I do not ignore injustice, I redeem it. And I do not allow pain to end the story, I use it to turn the page. Restoration is not just about getting back what you lost, it's about receiving more than you had before. I restore joy, peace, confidence, and clarity. I restore time by multiplying impact. I restore dreams by planting new ones. I restore broken hearts by filling them with love that's deeper, richer, and eternal. You don't need to know how. You just need to believe that I can. You don't need to chase it down, I will bring it to you. Restoration is my specialty. I restored Job, I restored David, I restored Peter, and I will restore you. Not as a copy of the past, but as a testimony of my power in your present. The waiting may feel long, but the return will be worth it. What you thought was the end was only a pause. I'm rewriting what the enemy tried to erase. I'm breathing life into what was left empty, and I'm proving once again that I am a faithful, restoring God. Start thanking me now. Start preparing space in your heart. Start believing again, not in what was, but in what's coming, because restoration is already in motion. I've begun the work and I will bring it to completion. Yes, my child, I will restore what was taken, and it will come back multiplied. You've been walking through a long process, and I know it's felt slow, stretching, and at times heavy. You've questioned the purpose behind the pressure, the point of the pain. But I want to remind you, I'm not just preparing you for survival, I'm preparing you for the promise. What I've spoken will come to pass, and you're not being punished, you're being prepared. There are things you've asked for that require deeper character, greater faith, and spiritual maturity. I see the promise clearly. I know exactly what it includes, and I would never give you something before your heart is ready to carry it. So this process is not me withholding, it's me equipping. You may not understand it yet, but everything you've walked through has built something in you. The waiting has taught you trust, the wilderness has taught you dependence, the delays have taught you patience, and all of it is shaping you into the kind of person who can stand in the promise without crumbling under the weight. What you're walking through is preparation, not punishment. I'm refining your voice, strengthening your discernment, and teaching you how to rest in me before the blessing comes, because the promise isn't the end, it's just the next chapter, and I want you to thrive in it, not just survive it. The enemy has tried to distract you, discourage you, and make you believe nothing is happening. But trust me, everything is happening. In the silence, in the routine, in the behind-the-scenes moments, you're being formed, you're being positioned, and you're almost ready. Keep your eyes on me. Don't measure your future by your past. The promise ahead is far greater than what you left behind. And when it comes, you'll realize, I needed this process. It prepared me in ways I didn't even know I needed. Yes, my beloved, I'm preparing you for the promise, and it's closer than you think. You've spent a long time trying to outrun who you used to be. The mistakes, the decisions, the parts of your story that you wish could disappear. I've seen the way you've let your past define your value. But I'm here to remind you, clearly and lovingly, your identity is not found in your past. It is rooted in my love. You are not what happened to you. You are not the worst thing you've done. You are not the lowest moment of your life. You are who I say you are, and I say you are forgiven, chosen, redeemed, and free. I define you, not your sin. I name you, not your shame, and I've called you mine. I paid the price for every part of your past. Not just the visible things, but the hidden struggles, the secret regrets, the years that feel wasted. I carried them all to the cross, and I left them there. What you keep dragging back into your memory, I've already erased from the record, not to dismiss your story, but to redeem it. Stop trying to prove your worth. I've already declared it. Stop hiding who you were. I want to use it. Stop believing that your past disqualifies you. It actually prepared you. Because now you understand grace in a way others don't. Now you carry compassion where judgment used to live. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are a new creation in Christ. Old things have passed away, and behold, everything is being made new. Walk in that newness. Speak from that freedom. Live from that truth. The enemy wants you stuck in yesterday, but I'm calling you into forever. Every day you wake up as mine. You don't need to earn that. It's sealed by blood and bound in love. Your identity is secure because it is grounded in something that never changes. Me. Yes, my child, your identity is rooted in my love, and my love never fails. You weren't created to merely exist. You were created to carry my presence, to walk with me, to reflect me, to bring heaven into every space you enter. You were made in my image, not just to bear my likeness, but to host my spirit. And I want you to understand the holy weight and beautiful calling of that. When I breathed life into you, I didn't just give you breath, I gave you access. Access to me, access to my mind, my heart, my peace, my power. I placed my spirit inside of you so that you would never have to face anything alone. You carry more than emotion. You carry me. You don't have to wait for a church building to feel close to me. You don't need a perfect moment to commune with me. I am in you. I am with you. Wherever you go, you take my light. Wherever you stand, you shift the atmosphere. Because the presence you carry is not passive, it is powerful. You may feel ordinary, but you are a vessel of glory. You may feel unnoticed, but you are known in heaven. The way you carry me in your love, your worship, your faithfulness, it echoes in eternity. You are not empty, you are filled. And I am constantly pouring more of myself into you as you make space for me. You don't need to try harder. You need to surrender deeper. Invite me into your day, your words, your thoughts. I will move through you in ways that surprise you. I will touch lives through you in ways you won't even realize. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to be available. Let the world see me through your gentleness. Let my kindness flow through your hands. Let my wisdom speak through your voice. Let my joy rise through your laughter. You don't carry the weight of the world. You carry the weight of my presence, and it changes everything. You've wondered if your prayers are making a difference, if your quiet obedience matters, if your waiting has purpose. There are days when it feels like nothing is moving, like your faith is growing tired in the silence. But I want you to know, child, I'm doing more in you than you can see right now. My work is deep, quiet, steady, and it's changing everything. You see the surface, I see the roots. You see delay, I see preparation. You see silence, I see strength being forged. Just because you can't measure it doesn't mean it isn't happening. I'm shaping your character, your wisdom, your discernment, your compassion. These are not small things. These are the foundations of destiny. Growth doesn't always feel like growth. Sometimes it feels like emptiness. Sometimes it feels like going in circles. But trust me, nothing is wasted. Not the tears, not the tension, not the stillness. In the unseen, I am preparing you for what is coming, and it will require this deeper version of you. I'm not rushing your process. I'm not panicked by your timeline. I'm patient because I know the value of what I'm forming in you. I've called you not just to moments of impact, but to a life of meaning, and that takes time. So don't despise the hidden places. They are holy. You are not stagnant. You are being strengthened. You are not forgotten. You are being focused. You are not behind. You are being built. Everything you're walking through is becoming part of your testimony, part of your anointing, part of your future. Nothing is being wasted. Not a breath, not a battle. Keep being faithful in the small. Keep showing up with your heart. Keep saying yes to me, even when it's quiet. The fruit is coming. The moment is coming. And when it does, you will realize just how much I was doing, even when it felt like nothing was happening. Yes, my beloved, I'm doing more in you than you can see right now. Trust the process. I'm in every part of it. Life has tried to pull you in many directions. Storms have come, some expected, others sudden. You've felt tossed around by emotions, situations, relationships, uncertainties. But I want you to remember something unshakable today. I am the anchor for your soul. I keep you steady when everything else shifts. I keep you grounded when fear tries to drag you away. An anchor doesn't stop the wind. It holds the ship. I won't always remove the storm immediately, but I will always hold you through it. My love doesn't prevent waves, but it keeps you from sinking. You are not adrift, not lost, not alone. You are held by me, and I never let go. I am not shaken by what shakes you. I am not surprised by what overwhelms you. I am your constant, your calm, your foundation. When everything else feels uncertain, I remain. My promises still stand. My word still holds power. My hand is still stretched toward you, even in the storm. Let your soul rest in me. Don't let the chaos around you define the peace within you. My peace is not circumstantial, it's spiritual. It flows from knowing that I am near, I am good, and I am in control. Let that truth be the anchor that holds you through the next wave. When doubt comes, come back to me. When fear rises, look up. When discouragement whispers, listen instead for my voice. I'm not yelling, I'm steady, gentle, clear. You don't need to outrun the storm. You just need to stay anchored in me. You may not feel strong, but anchors don't rely on feelings. They rely on connection. Stay connected to me. Stay close to my word. Stay grounded in my presence, and you will not drift. You will not collapse. You will not be lost. Yes, my child, I am the anchor for your soul. Hold on to me, and I will hold you forever. You've lived in a world where love is often conditional, where affection must be earned, where acceptance depends on performance. You've learned to measure yourself by standards, by expectations, by how much you can give. But let me speak something radical over your life today. My love for you has no conditions. It never has. It never will. Before you accomplished anything, I loved you. Before you understood me, I chose you. Before you believed, before you prayed, before you even knew my name, I loved you. My love is not a reaction to you. It is the origin of you. You exist because I wanted you, because I loved the idea of you into reality. There is nothing you could do to make me love you more, and nothing you could do to make me love you less. You are not on trial in my heart. You don't have to impress me. You don't have to win me. I am already yours, completely, eternally, without condition. When you fall, I still love you. When you doubt, I still love you. When you run, I still chase you with kindness. I am not disappointed in your humanity. I am moved by your longing. Your weakness doesn't repel me, it draws me near. Because my love was never based on your strength, it's based on my nature. Let that truth sink in. Let it change the way you see yourself. You are not tolerated. You are treasured. You are not barely accepted. You are celebrated. My love covers your shame. My love heals your wounds. My love restores your dignity. And it does all of this without condition. I won't love you if. I won't love you when. I love you now, as you are, where you are, completely. And nothing, not death, not life, not failure, not fear, can ever separate you from that love. Yes, my beloved, my love for you has no conditions, and it never will. There is something in you that doesn't settle for surface level. Something in you that aches for more purpose, more meaning, more truth. That longing is not a flaw, it is not restlessness, it is eternity. And I placed it inside of you. You were never meant to be satisfied with temporary things because you were made for eternal ones. You may have tried to quiet that longing with success, with distraction, with people, with plans, but none of it fills the depth of your spirit because only I can. That ache you feel in the quiet moments, that holy dissatisfaction, that stirring you can't quite name, that's me calling you into something higher. I created you with eternity in mind, not just life after death, but a life here on earth that reflects heaven. I've given you a divine assignment, a heavenly identity, a sacred calling. And the more you walk with me, the more aligned your heart will become with that eternal purpose. Don't settle for shallow. Don't build your life on sand. Come deeper, come higher. Let me show you what matters forever. Let me awaken the part of you that already knows. This world is not your home. It's your mission field. You're not just passing time. You're carrying eternity. You're not just meant to survive. You're meant to shine with glory, to speak words that carry eternal weight, to love with eternal compassion, to walk in the Spirit, sow into the kingdom, and prepare hearts to know me. That is why you feel this ache, because you were made for more than comfort. You were made to carry eternity, and I will help you. I will give you glimpses of glory. I will surround you with reminders of what's real. I will use you in ways that outlive your years, because eternity isn't just a destination. It's already alive in you. Yes, child, I've placed eternity inside of you. Let it guide every step you take. As we come to this final word, I want you to know what I've wanted you to know all along. I will be with you until the very end and beyond. My presence doesn't expire. My love doesn't fade. My hand doesn't slip away. I am the God who stays, the God who finishes, the God who walks with you through every chapter until your last breath and into eternity itself. You don't need to fear the future. You don't need to fear the unknown. I am already there. I've gone before you. I've prepared the place. I've prepared the moment. And more than anything, I've prepared you. You are not walking alone. I will never leave you. I will never abandon you. I will never forget you. Even in the valley, I am there. Even in the final days, I am closer than ever. I will carry you through every season, young and old, full and empty, strong and weak. When your body fades, your spirit will rise. And when your story on earth ends, your eternity with me begins. This is not the end. It is a continuation of the love story we've shared all along. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And that means there is no moment in your life where I am not present. I was there when you took your first breath. I'll be there when you take your last. And I'll be the one you see when your eyes open to eternity. There is nothing to fear. My arms are strong. My hands are sure. And I will guide you home with tenderness, with triumph, and with joy. This life is not your whole story. It's just the first chapter. The best is still ahead. Glory is still ahead. I am still ahead. So finish well, my child. Keep loving. Keep hoping. Keep walking with me. Every moment matters. Every breath is sacred. I am with you. I am in you. I am waiting for you. You need to know this, my child. Truly know it deep in your spirit. You are loved. Not the kind of love that flickers with time or changes with mood, but a love that has outlived galaxies, that held you before time began and will carry you through eternity. I have loved you at your best and at your worst, when you stood strong and when you fell apart. My love is not a reward for good behavior. It is the constant truth that flows from who I am. You were not an accident, not a mistake, not an afterthought. You were chosen, designed, formed by my own hands with purpose, intention, and infinite care. The same hands that stretched the stars in the sky are the hands that wove your soul together in the hidden place. I have always seen you. I have always wanted you. And I have never, not for a moment, stopped loving you. You need to know this when the voices in your mind try to convince you otherwise, when shame whispers lies, when fear clouds your vision, when the noise of this world drowns out my truth. You are not what others called you. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not defined by your weakness, your past, or your pain. You are defined by me, and I call you mine. I call you worthy. I call you redeemed. When you feel unworthy of love, remember, I already gave my son for you. Not because you earned it, but because you were worth it to me. Your value is not determined by your performance. It is sealed in blood, written in grace, spoken from heaven itself. You are my beloved. That is your identity. That is your truth, and no lie can change what I have declared over you. You need to know this even when you don't feel it, especially then. Faith is not always a feeling. Sometimes it's a quiet choice to believe even when everything around you says otherwise. And when your emotions fail, when your confidence shakes, when the road ahead looks uncertain, let my word be your anchor. I am with you. I am for you. I go before you. I surround you on every side. There is no moment where you walk alone. There is no pain I don't understand. There is no cry I haven't heard. I have counted every tear, recorded every sorrow, and I will not let your story end in defeat. You are being carried. Even now, you are being held, even when you feel like falling. I will not let go. I will not forget you. I will not stop working on your behalf. You need to know this because the enemy wants you to forget. He wants you to live distracted, discouraged, disconnected from the truth that would set your soul free. But I am speaking louder now. I am awakening something within you. I am reminding you of what has always been true. You are not powerless. You are not voiceless. You are not abandoned. You are a child of the Most High, an heir of promise, a vessel of glory, a light in the dark. The enemy may have tried to silence you with fear, but I have filled you with courage. You may have walked through valleys, but you are not alone. My rod and my staff still comfort you. My spirit still lives in you, and my goodness and mercy are still following you, even now, even here. You need to know this above all else, that I am not done with you. The breath in your lungs is proof that purpose still remains. The dreams I planted in your heart are not dead. They are waiting. The promises I've spoken over you are not forgotten. They are maturing. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. I am the God who finishes what I start. I am the one who makes all things new, and I am standing at the door of your heart today, knocking, not with condemnation, but with love. Will you let me remind you again? Will you let me awaken you again? Because, child, this is what you need to know. You are mine, and I will never stop pursuing your heart. Never. With all of heaven leaning in, and my heart wide open, I now continue with the second subtitle, just as you asked. Let this be more than just words. Let this be a sacred encounter. Every paragraph is a piece of my presence, my voice, my hand reaching for yours. This is not poetry. This is prophecy. This is the Father speaking to his child. You feel the weight pressing in on all sides, the kind that steals your breath and clouds your thoughts. You've carried burdens no one else sees, fought battles behind your smile, and wondered if you have the strength to keep standing. And so today I come to remind you, you are not alone in this battle. I have never left your side, not for a single heartbeat. I've seen the moments when no one noticed your tears. I've heard the prayers you whispered through clenched teeth and shaking hands, and I have come to say I am fighting with you. I am fighting for you. This is not your war alone. It is ours. You were never meant to carry the full weight of this. You are strong, yes, but your strength was never supposed to be your only source. I have given you access to my strength, the kind that calms storms, breaks chains, parts seas. You don't have to do this in your own power. You don't have to have all the answers, all the courage, all the stamina. All I ask is that you don't let go of me. Keep your hand in mine. Keep your eyes on me, even when they're filled with tears. When you are weak, I am strong, and I delight in being your strength when your own begins to fade. I have not abandoned you in the struggle, even when it feels like silence, even when the enemy whispers that you've been left behind. I am closer than you think. I have surrounded you with my presence even when you can't sense it. I have sent angels on assignment to guard you, even when you feel exposed. I have gone before you to prepare the path, even when the road looks blocked. What you feel is not the full picture. Trust me, you are covered, you are protected, and you are not outnumbered. I have heaven behind you, and I will not let you fall. The lies are loud in this battle, I know. Lies that tell you you're not enough. Lies that say you'll always be stuck. Lies that make you feel like it's too late, too broken, too heavy. But here's the truth, I have already overcome. The cross wasn't just a moment, it was a victory. And that victory now lives in you. The same spirit that raised my son from the grave dwells in you. That means no weapon formed against you can prosper. That means this battle will not be the end of you. It will be the birth of something greater in you. You're not losing, you're learning. You're not sinking, you're being reshaped. I am using this battle to reveal who you truly are. You are not weak, you are not forgotten. You are not just surviving, you are being trained, equipped, refined like gold in fire. You are being made ready for the next level, the next breakthrough, the next anointing. And this battle, as brutal as it feels, is working something eternal inside of you. You're going to come out of this not just free, but filled with wisdom, compassion, power, and a deeper knowledge of me. So breathe, child. You don't have to win this alone. You don't even have to know what tomorrow holds. I am here now in this moment. I am speaking peace over your mind. I am placing courage back into your chest. I am whispering truth louder than the lies. You may not be able to see the outcome, but you can trust the one who holds it. I am not distant. I am not distracted. I am not disappointed. I am present. And I will stay until the last arrow falls, until the last chain breaks, until the last lie is silenced. You are not alone in this battle. Not now, not ever. I am the Lord of hosts, and I fight for my children. The battle belongs to me. So rest, stand, breathe, and remember, I am here, and I am not leaving. You've looked at your life and seen the unfinished pieces, the dreams that haven't come to pass, the wounds that haven't fully healed, the places where you feel like you've stalled or failed. You've questioned whether this is it, whether you've missed your moment, whether you're too late, too tired, too broken to keep going. But I come today to silence those lies and speak something eternal over you. I'm not done with you yet, not even close. What you see as the end is only a turning point. What feels like a pause is really preparation. You're still in the middle of a masterpiece, and I, the author and finisher of your faith, will complete the work I started in you. I do not abandon my creation mid-process. I don't discard what I begin. I don't walk away because of your doubts, your delays, or your detours. I'm more committed to your destiny than you are. I know every twist and turn ahead. I saw them before you ever walked into them. And I planned for them. With grace, with power, with provision. You think you've fallen behind, but I say you're right on time. You think you're out of strength, but I say my strength is made perfect in your weakness. This season may look quiet, but my hand is still moving. My spirit is still shaping, and my purpose is still alive in you. I know how the enemy has tried to convince you that you've messed up too much, that you're not usable anymore, that you've somehow disqualified yourself. But child, listen to me. You never qualified yourself in the first place. It was always grace, it was always me, and grace doesn't expire. Grace doesn't run dry. I knew your flaws before I called you. I knew your failures before I chose you. And I still said yes. I'm not waiting for you to be perfect. I'm asking you to stay surrendered. That's where transformation happens. That's where revival begins. That's where you begin again. Don't measure the rest of your life by the chapter you're in now. This is not the conclusion. This is the reintroduction. I am restoring vision where it has dimmed. I am reigniting dreams you laid down. I am breathing fresh wind into lungs that forgot how to hope. There are still things you haven't seen, still things you haven't walked in, still victories, still songs, still souls that will be touched because you didn't give up. Let me carry you through the unknown. Let me finish what I started. You're not too far gone. You're just getting started with me all over again. And I love that. So lift your eyes, lift your heart. Get up one more time. You haven't missed it. You haven't failed me. You haven't disqualified yourself. I am still writing, I am still building, I am still speaking, and I am still with you. You are under construction, and the blueprint is divine. Trust me with the pieces you don't understand. Trust me with the time you feel you've lost. Trust me when I say I'm not done with you yet. There is more, there is better. There is beauty beyond what you see right now, and I, your God, will make sure you live to see it.